So they transferred me to the court support people. So I talked to the girl in court support. She goes, "Oh, I'm tier 1 support. You need to talk to tier 2 court support." So transferred me again. So I left my house at 6:45. I had to hang up. I almost thought about leaving the phone going until I got to the door.
All right, people. All right, settle down. All right.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be so
Settle
nice
down,
tomorrow.
class. All right, at this time, I will call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, December 28th, 2022, at 7 p.m. Roll call, please, Deputy Clerk Kolek.
Trustee Barrett?
Here.
Trustee Caveney?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hildy? Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Kilby?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our fallen veterans. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get going, I believe my granddaughter Nova Rose is watching tonight, so can everyone say hi, Nova?
Hi, Nova.
I hope she's watching. Hope it's working. Hi, Nova. I'll be home soon. All right, is there any public comment tonight? Fred?
Okay, thank you. I brought up some comments here last week. I found an old ordinance, which is probably antiquated by this time. But it states down here, on the planning board, people digging up their front lawn, making reservation for their own personal cars. It says here, illegally removing sod or earth, illegally removing sod along public highway.
Right.
My question to that would be, how would that be handled? If somebody's already put asphalt down and parking their car in front,
If we can determine that was done recently, we will have them remove it. If you're talking about someone that has had it for 15, 20, 30 years, we're not gonna go and tell people to remove it.
right, I understand that.
Yeah.
Like, this emergency vehicle, wrecking trucks or whatever, the guy's dug it up and, of course, he's on call 24 hours, whatever that may be. And there's also, it says, I complained a while back here about loudspeakers and amplification. There's also an ordinance of that. It says no permit. Permits are not issued for, like, mariachi bands that you can hear 2 or 3 blocks away, okay?
We have a new noise ordinance that the
I know,
village passed.
excuse me, we were gonna review that, I believe,
Yeah.
with the chief and all that,
Yeah.
So I don't know if any progress has been made on that.
Yeah, residents are not required to have a permit. There's a decimal on which we now go by a decimal, so it's measurable.
What's
So
decimal?
residents now, if there's a complaint, officers can measure I think it's frequency is the correct word, and it's consistent across the board to see where that level is when they're asked to turn it down. And if they, usually I think the police department asks residents to turn it down, and then if they fail to, if they have to go back, they would issue a citation.
Okay, and, the other thing is, I gave you some addresses, I won't go through all that scenario, but people are running businesses out of their homes. Trucking business, for one thing, and I mentioned that several times. These box trucks, I mean, if you go to the area where I'm at, and you go down the street there, you don't know you're running a business there, they're not running a business, they park any place they want. There's a trailer sitting there now for over a month. I don't know, and it's not a little camping trailer, it's one of them house trailers like about 21 foot long. If anybody's gonna move that or any
I think,
motion on that,
I think DC, did the police department address those? Were those ones they addressed already?
Yeah, that was the list that you gave me last week, Fred.
right.
Which address had the house trailer, do you remember? I wrote down all the addresses and between myself and somebody else went over and checked all of these. One of the places that already did handle the citations, and then a couple of the addresses and the descriptions that you gave me last week, there weren't any violations observed when we went to them.
Okay, I won't question that. told to kind of leave the addresses alone, and I'll give them to you on the side of the
Yeah,
letter.
give me a call tomorrow, we can sort it all out, I have a whole list.
The other is a trailer, it's sitting right there at, 146th and Millard, sitting
Yeah,
right in the corner.
they've been cited
They've
for
been
it.
cited for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to see if there's any movement on anything going on. Seems like I spin my wheels, or I'm just an old man, cranky old man, and I'm really not cranky. Pretty good human guy, but in any case, is there any way you can find out how much we're supposed to be paying for our own water, I think, as usage? How does that work? I mean, per gallon? Does anybody have an idea of what's gonna be charged, or is that a fluctuating thing?
No, it's a set price. I believe we're at $9 per 1,000 gallons of usage.
Okay, all right, I didn't understand that last week or a couple weeks ago.
What we did last week or week before was we removed the minimum use charge. So anyone that was using less than 2,000 gallons a month or 6,000 for the quarter, you still had to pay for 6,000 gallons. We removed that. So if you're under 6,000 for the quarter, you're only paying for what you use.
Okay, thank you.
Also, you might want to reference for the seniors, they don't have to register every year.
Correct. Deputy Clerk Kalaki did not send out the renewal form, so, so seniors, you don't have to re-up this year. We've gotten rid of the, minimum usage charge for the whole village.
Mayor, if you like, we can put something on the homepage for the website to remind seniors that they do not have to re-register as a nice reminder going into.
I also have it on the, it's also part of the January,
Constant contact.
yeah.
All right. Anything else tonight, Fred?
No, I wish everybody a happy and prosperous new year,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy
Fred.
New Year, Fred.
even though it kind of harassed you all, but, I
Eh,
guess.
we'd miss you if you weren't here.
Pardon me?
We'd miss you if you weren't here.
Thank you. I'll try to be here.
Anyone else? Nothing? Okay, then I'll close the floor to public comment. Move on to tonight's consent agenda. Number one, approval of the write-in quote for vehicle stickers, pet tags, and motorcycle stickers for 2023 for a total amount of $4,675. Number two, approval of the November 2022 Administration Department monthly report. Number three, approval of the November 2022 Building Department monthly report. Number four, approval of the November 2022 Fire Department monthly report. Number five, approval of the November 2022 Police Department monthly report. Number six, approval of the November 2022 Public Works Department monthly report. And number seven, approval of the list of bills. Is there any item any trustee would like off of tonight's consent agenda? Hearing no dissension, I'm looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as read.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
All in, roll call, please.
Trustee Caveny?
Aye.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Burbette?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Killian?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to trustee business, trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. With the approval of the quote for the stickers and the tags, we will be sending we're about to send a letter, a certified letter and a fax to the company, Third Millennium, to let them know that we will no longer use them. We're also going to present to the board in probably 2 weeks our plan to bring the village stickers and the tags back in-house so that we'll issue them from the premises here and not do it through Third Millennium. And that is all I have for you today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Trustee Burback.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I have is we've finally received a quote for replacing the switches in the network closet. And it's something we want to act on very fast, so we're going to ask that we vote on that next week. It's $1,875 to prove it. Yeah, $1,875.
Anyone have any issues with that? It sounds like a really, really good price.
It is a very good price. That's one of the reasons we want to act really fast.
What was it, 18?
$1,875.
And can you remind us what the switches will do?
They replace the switches we already have. These switches give way more management capability, so you can see all the devices connected in the network by name. and it gives way more control so they can be more reactive to any problems.
Would you like that under your business for approval?
Sure.
Switches?
Yeah.
Ethernet switches?
We'll forward you the quote.
I'm sorry?
Network switches.
Network switches, okay.
I'll forward it to you.
Thank you, sir. Anything else today?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Keavy?
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I have is, I received an email from MWRD engineer Rich Fisher yesterday. We traded emails with regards to this property buyout, and apparently I misunderstood. I thought the application had to include the two appraisals. It does not. The village needs to send in its application. Once MWRD approves of our project, the village has to enter into an IGA, and then we have to submit documentation with regards to the two appraisers we chose. We have to send their resume and their qualifications, and MWRD will approve them to do the appraisals. So I forwarded the email that I received from Rich. I believe I forwarded it to you and to Superintendent Sperry, so that you guys could take a look at it and be very familiar with what the village's responsibility is going to be going forward on this property. Part of the application process is, I believe we have to submit some sort of plan of what we're going to do with the property. We have to submit some type of estimate of expenses, and I have no idea how much it costs to raise a building, and I wouldn't even begin to know where to find that information. So I'll need Superintendent Sperry to help me out with this one.
I think Superintendent Witt could probably have some, with his background and experience, he might have some ideas on what it costs to take down a house or a building.
Do we have any idea if the Cook County Sheriff's Office still has their demo program working? How do we find out?
I don't think they do, but.
No?
Yeah, but didn't we have concerns with that before because they didn't remove all the debris, they just backfilled it into the property? Wasn't that part of the problem with that?
Right, but I mean, if we have them knock it down, then the village can move forward and the village can have all that debris removed. But if this building will have, this property will have deed restrictions, so it cannot be built on again, leaving the concrete footings in the ground, I don't think would be a bad thing, right? Because it would be considered clean fill, because if you take it out, then you have to backfill it with clay and something else to keep everything in place. So my thought was, we'd knock the building down, but potentially maintain some of the asphalt parking lot for parking, but I don't even know if we're gonna be able to do that. We might have to tear out the parking lot.
I think the whole property has to be green.
Yeah, so we have to tear the parking lot and everything out. So we have to kind of come up with some sort of plan of what we're gonna do with it. Are we gonna